Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my name is John Fitzmaurice. I am currently known as T87 Mobile. Today I'm going to review last night's Summerslam live from the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. I must say that last night's show was very surprisingly good. I thought it was just going to be like a bad card with one match built. But surprisingly, this show really impressed me a lot. You know, we'll get to the main events in a bit, but I'm gonna go through what happened last night. The opener, a six-man tag team match. We had my nigga The Miz teaming up with R-Truth and Raw's Money in the Bank winner Alberto Del Rio against Kofi Kingston, John Morrison, and Rey Mysterio. Now, this was like a last-minute throw-in together kind of match, but this was actually pretty good for being at last minute, and it didn't disappoint. You know, everybody did their thing. You know, everybody hit their moves, and Rey Mysterio got the pin on R-Truth with the splash after the 619. So Mysterio's team won. Alberto Del Rio didn't do too much during the match. I mean, he did some things, but I can't even recall him being tagged in once, actually. But, you know, maybe it's me, but I'll get to the Guido in a minute. Next one, you had CM Punk was forced to apologize to John Laurinaitis, where he had apologized for kicking him in the head last week on Raw. And Punk's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. John Laurinaitis. Please forgive me," this and that. And then after Laurinaitis leaves, Stephanie McMahon comes out, and she came up to Punk saying, "I'm here to wish you luck." Like, "You came to wish me luck?" Punk said. And, you know, Stephanie's like, "Yeah, you know, my husband," and Punk's like, "Why don't you talk to your dad or something, or your husband?" And Steph's like, "Well, I already did, and both my husband and my father want to wish you luck, including John Cena." And Stephanie extends her hand for a handshake from Punk, and Punk said, "I normally would, but I already know where that hand's been." That was such a classy moment. Very funny as hell what CM Punk said. The next match, we had the World's Strongest Man, Mark Henry, and the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. This was a solid big man match. Near the end, Mark Henry lifted up Sheamus and gave him the running. He ran his back through the ring post and turned around, ran through the black barricade, which went through like holy shit. And basically, Mark Henry wins by a countout. And I don't know what they're gonna do with Mark Henry and Sheamus feud. I hope it's not the end. And I kind of don't mind Sheamus as a face right now. And Mark Henry's dominant heel as of late, I'm not a big fan of it, which I'll explain later. Yeah, you had CeeLo Green performing his SummerSlam theme. It's alright, it's alright. Yeah, who cares? Who gives a shit? That led us to a surprisingly great Divas match for the Divas title between Kelly and Beth Phoenix, and basically the Glamour Sign dominated this match. And near the end, when she went to go for the Glam Slam, Kelly rolled up and for the victory roll up 1, 2, 3. I was like, whoa! I couldn't believe they let Kelly win, but I don't see that feud being over yet. I think Beth Phoenix is gonna win the title soon. Then we saw at some point Stephanie McMahon coming out of John Cena's locker room, and my boy from the Bronx, Joshua Ramos, yeah, my man, he made a good point on Facebook saying, "What the fuck was Stephanie doing in John Cena's locker room, giving him head?" Nah, but I'm sure there's some business thing going on, but I don't know. It's all storyline, whatever bullshit. Then we led to actually, before that, we had R-Truth talking to himself backstage, of course, but talking to Jimmy Hart, yes, the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, saying that, he needed a manager, somebody can guide him, that bullshit. And he was telling people, like, "Oh, you better not make fun of me." It turned out to be Ron Artest of the Los Angeles Lakers and his daughter. And I don't know, that was weird. Then the next match we had Daniel Bryan versus Wade Barrett. This was a good mid-card match because these two they've been feuding the last couple of weeks. It was actually relevant that last year's SummerSlam you had Wade Barrett leading the Nexus and Daniel Bryan was John Cena's secret weapon. And this was actually like, it all came to a head, you could say a year later. But, both guys held their own. It came to the end when Wade Barrett knocked Daniel Bryan on the top rope and clotheslined him and gave him the wasteland, which, pretty big win for Wade Barrett, I must say. But I really thought they were going to let Daniel Bryan win and continue his push, but who knows? Maybe they got something in store for him. And then we get to the no-holds-barred match for the World Heavyweight Championship between Christian and Randy Orton. And before the match, Christian made the announcement that he had something up his sleeve where he revealed Edge was going to be in his corner. So Edge came out saying, like, wow, I missed this, blah, 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 blah. But then he said, Christian, like, yo, you're still my best friend. And I agree that, he lost. I mean, it wasn't unfair that Christian had to defend the title 5 days after he won it, or that bullshit. Then Edge wound up saying, like, dude, the way you won your title, you won by disqualification. And, Edge said in the end, like, basically saying, I didn't know my best friend would turn out to be a whiny little bitch. I'm like, damn. So even Edge made a good point on Christian. But then after that, Randy Orton comes out, and, they had their match. I thought this was a tad little overbooked a little bit, but it was still a great fight to see, Randy Orton finally breaking the announcer's table on Christian in the RKO. I thought that was going to end it right there. Then later, Christian came back with the kill switch engaged. And I thought that was it, but no. Then we had Randy Orton, knocking off Christian to the table, power slamming through a table, and then they're hitting each other with kendo sticks. It was just a great no-holds-barred match. And the ending where they did similar to their first meeting back on SmackDown back in May this year, where Christian went up through the ropes, and this time Orton RKO'd him on the steel steps, and that gave Orton his 9th world title reign. So, congrats to Randy Orton for winning the World Heavyweight Championship again, which I have no problems. I love Randy Orton. And that leads us to our main event. It was for the undisputed WWE Championship between John Cena and CM Punk with Triple H as the guest referee. Now, this was a great 24-minute match. Wasn't as awesome as the one they had in Money in the Bank, but it was still a great match. Punk basically dominated as he should. We all know Cena sucks. And the one thing I gotta give John Cena, though, is respect that he takes an ass beating and he gives it his all night in and night out. And at the end of the match, CM Punk gave Cena the second GTS of the night. And after Triple H made the 1 count, Cena had his foot on the rope, and Triple H kept counting all the way to 3. And Triple H missed the call right there. And basically, Punk won. He was the undisputed WWE champion at that point. And after Cena left, Triple H extended Punk's hand and handshake, and Punk was like, I am not stupid. I know what you're capable of. But then Triple H just raised his hand in victory, saying, yeah, he won. And then after Triple H leaves, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Kevin Nash comes in, gives Punk a running forearm, and gives him a jackknife powerbomb. I'm like, what the fuck is Kevin Nash doing? And then all of a sudden, that damn Mexican Nicarachi, Alberto Del Rio, runs in with his Money in the Bank briefcase. Referee rings the bell. Then Del Rio goes for his kick on Punk. And 10 seconds later, he's the new WWE champion. I'm like, oh my god, man. I mean, I knew Del Rio was going to win the title at some point. He was going to cash it in. But I didn't think it was going to be that soon. But, you know, that was actually one of my predictions for the Punk Cena match where Del Rio cashes in on whoever's the champion. But, I must say, like I said, this SummerSlam, I gotta admit, it was really good, surprisingly, shockingly awesome. But, the score, I have to give it, a score of 8 out of 10. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. But, you know, my afterthoughts on SummerSlam, because I know tonight on Raw, Alberto Del Rio is going to defend the WWE title against Rey Mysterio, and I don't think Mysterio is going to win. I don't want to see him as champion. Like, what's he going to do, really, as WWE champion? Nothing, really. But, you know, also, Morrison, they need to push Morrison and Kingston to the main event, because they need to get out of the mid-card hell. You all even got to agree with me on that one. And The Miz, he better not be buried, yo. But it's like my boy said, nah. With Mike's skills and shit, they're not going to bury him. And R-Truth, nobody gives a shit. Also, the Wade Barrett-Daniel Bryan feud, I think it could continue if you let Wade Barrett steal the Money in the Bank briefcase from Daniel Bryan. And it would give Barrett his heel heat back. Also, the Randy Orton Christian feud, I just hope there's no more rematches after last night, because that's just great stuff they've done. But it's like my other friend said, that it has run its course. And finally, the whole shebang with the main event scene on Raw, you know, CM Punk got screwed by Kevin Nash, but I think it's kind of a setup by Triple H, and I might be thinking, you know, maybe The Click might come back. Maybe. But then, and also now Alberto Del Rio's WWE champion, you know, how long is he going to hold that for? And I wonder, are they going to give John Cena that time off that I think he needs this time off and deserves it? Because, think about it, that Cena he's gone full tilt since Survivor Series of 2008. He's gone non-stop since. And it's obvious, you know, he goes out there hurt every night. But even, you know what? They need to turn John Cena heel. I don't know why Vince McMahon doesn't have the balls and the grapefruits, as he says, to turn Cena heel. He's afraid that, oh no, I'm going to lose merch sales that way. Vince, grow the fuck up. Did you see what WCW did with Hulk Hogan when he turned heel? Merch sales went up, and the fans cheered for the NWO. You turn Cena heel, it could be the hottest thing going right now. It could be hotter than the whole CM Punk angle. But, you know, and plus, you know, give Cena time off now, and, give Cena some time off, and, you know, let him come back in time for Survivor Series, where we know something's gonna happen with him and The Rock. I already know that. And, you know, I just hope that Cena and Rock have a match at Survivor Series at Madison Square Garden, because I do plan to go there, so I gotta keep you on date. But, one last thing before I go is, I have asked some of you, you know, give me your top 10 list of your top 10 favorite wrestlers, your top 10 baby faces, and your top 10 heels in WWE history from 1987 all the way to today. So this week's your only chance to give it to me, because at some point next week I plan to do videos revealing my top 10 list of baby faces, the heels, and my favorites, and then eventually I'll do videos of who everybody voted for as their favorites, their baby faces, and the top heels of all time in WWE. But it's been very good so far, and I appreciate it for everybody that's participating in it. And hopefully I can get more before the end of the week. And that's it for now. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.